Last night's encounter with Lord Krishna left me astonished. I haven't been able to sleep ever since then. So I've been meditating, training, just to process those words. I remember every single word he said, and it sounded something like this. Arjuna, you grieve for those beyond grief, and speak words of insight, but never learned men not grieve, but dead are the living. Never had now existed, nor you, nor these kings, and never in the future shall we cease to exist. Just as the embodied self enters childhood, youth, and now old age, so does it enter another body. This does not confound a steadfast man. Contacts with matter affects us feel heat and cold, pleasure and pain. Arjuna, you must learn to endure fleeting things, because they come and go. When these things cannot torment a man, when suffering and joy are equal, for him and he has courage, he is fit for immortality. Nothing of non-being comes to be, nor does being cease to exist. The boundary between these two is seen by men who see reality. Indestructible is the presence that perceives all this. No one can destroy this unchanging reality. Our bodies are known to end, but the embodied self is enduring, indestructible, and immeasurable. Therefore, Arjuna, just fight the battle. He who thinks himself is a killer, and he who thinks is killed, both fail to understand. It does not kill, neither it is killed. It is not born, and does not die. Having been, it will never not be. Enduring, unborn, constant, and primordial, it is not killed when the body is killed. Arjuna, when a man knows itself to be indestructible, enduring, unborn, unchanging, how does he or cause anyone to kill? As a man discards worn-out clothes to put on new ones and different ones, so does the embodied self discards its worn-out bodies to take on new ones. Weapons do not cut it, fire does not burn it, water does not wet it, winter, and wind does not winter it. It cannot be cut or burned, it cannot be wet or withered. It endures all processes, fixed, immovable, and timeless. It is called unmanifest, unconceivable, and immutable. Since you know that to be so, you should not grieve. If you think of its birth and death as ever recurring, then, too great warrior, you have no cause to grieve. Death is certain for anyone born, and birth is certain for anyone for the dead. Since the cycle is inevitable, you have no cause to grieve. Creatures are manifest in origin, manifest is the midst of life, and unmanifest again in the end. Since this is so, why do you lament? Rarely someone sees it, rarely another one speaks it, and rarely anyone hears it. Even hearing it, no one really knows it. The self and body of everybody is indestructible. You have no cause to grieve for all these creatures, Arjuna. Look at your own duty. Do not tremble before it. Nothing is better for a warrior than a battle's sacred duty. The doors of heaven open for warriors who rejoice to battle like this, thrust on them by chance. If you fail to wage this war's sacred duty, you will abandon your own duty and fame only to gain evil. People will tell you stories of you of your undying shame, and for a man of honor, shame is the worse than death. The great chariot warriors will think you deserted in fear of battle. You will be despised by those who held you in esteem. Your enemies will slander you, scorching your skill in so many unspeakable ways. Could any suffering be worse? If you are killed, you win heaven. If you triumph, you enjoy the earth. Therefore, Arjuna, stand up and resolve to fight the battle. Impartial to joy and suffering, gain and loss, victory and defeat, arm yourself for the battle, lest you fall into evil. Understanding is defined in terms of philosophy, now here in spiritual discipline. Armed with this understanding, Arjuna, you will escape the bondage of action. Be intent of your action, not only the fruits of action. Avoid attraction, not the fruits of action, and attach to the inaction. Perform actions with firm and discipline, relinquishing attachment. Be impartial to failure and success. This inequality is called discipline. Arjuna, action is far inferior to the discipline of understanding, so seek refuge in understanding. Pitiful are men drawn by fruits of actions. Discipline by understanding, one abandons both good and evil deeds. So arm yourself for discipline. Discipline is skills in action. Wise men disciplined by understanding relinquish the fruit born of action. Freed from these bonds of rebirth, they reach a place called decay. When your understanding passes beyond the swamp of delusion, you will be indifferent to all that is heard in sacred lore. When your understanding turns from sacred lore to stand fixed, immovable in contemplation, then you will reach discipline. To which I answer, Krishna, what defines a man deep in contemplation whose insight and thought are sure? How will he speak? How will he sit? How will he move? To which he replied, when he gives up desire in his mind and is content with the self within himself, then he is said to be a man whose insight is sure. When suffering does not disturb his mind, when his craving for pleasure has vanished, when attraction, fear, and anger are gone, he is called a sage whose thought is sure. When he shows no preference in fortune or misfortune, and neither exalts nor hates, his insight is sure. When like a tortoise is retreating his limbs, when he withdraws his senses completely from sensuous objects, his insight is sure. Sensuous objects fade when the embodied self extracts from food. The taste lingers, but it fades too in the vision of higher truth. Whenever a man of wisdom tries to control them, Arjuna, the bewildering senses attack his mind with violence. Controlling them all, with discipline he should focus on me. When his senses are under control, his insight is sure. Brooding about sensuous objects makes attachment to them grow. From attachment desires arises. From desire anger is born. From anger comes confusion. From confusion memory lapses. From broken memories understanding is lost. From loss of understanding he is ruined. But a man of inner strength, whose senses experience objects without attraction and hatred, in self-control, my friend, finds serenity. Ever since that night, I haven't been able to sleep. I wonder what he means by all this. I just hope that one day I will truly understand what he tried to say. Until then, I will meditate and fight the battle.